Evening News.
Welcome to CSFX News. I'm Joanne Benoit.
And I'm Stephen Halliday. Communism has creeped into our forests. That and other top stories after this message.
What you got there? This is Orvin Redenbacher's new microwave popcorn. I just pulled it out of the microwave and strolled on over to the show.
Oh, microwave popcorn. What's so good about that?
Yeah.
Well, for instance, look at my hands. Are they all greasy? Each bag is sealed with plastic to prevent any greasy buildup. Your so-called Bergen brand looks repulsive.
Can I try some? I think that Orville Redenbacher's new microwave popcorn is my kind of popcorn.
Don't you hate that gooey, buttery mess?
Yes.
Would you believe me if I told you that the butter was already in it?
Wow. Did you put the popcorn in this bag before you came here?
No way can do. It's been scientifically proven that it can be popped right in the bag. Each box contains 3 pop and serve pouches with the directions right on the bag, so that even a dud could make it.
Well, that's fine and dandy for you well-to-do folk. But I ain't got no microwave.
That's all right. Orvin Redenbacher still has his gourmet popping corn. It's vacuum sealed to lock in extra freshness. Now everyone's eating Orvin Redenbacher microwave popcorn.
Just
Woodlot owners from across Nova Scotia braved bitterly cold temperatures and high winds for hours today outside the Nova Scotia legislature. The hardy protesters were there to defy the Royal Commission on Forestry's report on management. Legal experts say if this is implemented, it will all but eliminate a woodlot owner's control over his woodlot. The report recommends that government inspectors should check private woodlots for proper management and imposing strict fines if they are not met. If landowners do not submit to the Commissioner's recommendations, they will be heavily fined until they agree to the management scheme. The report goes on to recommend that the government should determine where the wood is to be cut, where it is to be sold, and at what price. One shivering protester shouted, "This amounts to nothing short of communism." Another quoted, "If these recommendations are enforced, it will mean the end of free enterprise in Nova Scotia's forest industry."
Here on campus, a tremendous victory was struck for women's movement all over the world. St. Francis Xavier University elected its first woman president. Carol Ellis began her historic struggle by becoming one of the most active members of the student body. Her first major breakthrough came in 1983 when she became activities director for the orientation committee. Then in 1984 she became co-chairperson. Her skills were shown further as St. Francis Xavier's representative to the student unions of Nova Scotia from 1983 to 1985. She has been described as the most outspoken and active member, some committee members said. Her other involvements include coordinator of the Committee on Responsible Consumption and an executive member of the Allied Youth Alumni. As well, she has been involved with Friends of the Mentally Handicapped, where she has been described as one of the best workers. Finally, she was awarded the Michael Lazier Citizenship Award in 1984. One wonders why it took so long for it to be awarded to a woman. Although the male-dominated Catholic Church still controls the university, the era of male favoritism and privilege is over at CSFX. Back to you, Steve.
Rumors of student unrest and possible mass demonstration in protest of poor laundry facilities have erupted on lower campus. The problem arises from the fact that 700 students have access to only 16 washers and 7 dryers, some of which seem to be permanently out of order, while Mount St. Bernard and Lane Hall, however, have numerous washers and dryers per floor. Unnamed sources have proclaimed the facility a health hazard due to brawls, shoving matches, students fainting because of overcrowding, and generally unsanitary conditions. The lack of facilities has caused many problems for lower campus students. Students have been skipping classes for a chance to use the washer. "My average has dropped considerably," said one student, and another was quoted as saying he hadn't had clean socks since Christmas. The situation has created such tension that sources say a march on Mount St. Bernard is planned to commandeer washers and dryers. At this point in time, university officials and student council representatives have no comment on the matter. Joanne?
X Project is a group of CSFX students who take time from their busy academic schedules to tutor underprivileged children, accepting no remuneration for their services. Their only mode of transportation, however, is in desperate need of repair. Yes, X Project, a victim of neglect, may be forced to suspend its operations. For the second time in as many days, it ceased to operate, this time on the return trip from a tutoring session in Upper Big Trackety. By the time a tow truck arrived and the students returned to campus, they were over 3 hours late. The 3-hour wait in the snow caused many of the dedicated students to become ill, missing valuable time and midterm quizzes. This problem is due to chronic underfunding, said an X-Project worker. If it continues, operation may be suspended in some areas, the member continued. University administration and student council officials were unavailable for comment on the situation. And now here's Steve with the sports.
The St. FXU men's basketball team played 2 excellent games before a nearly full crowd at Halifax's Metro Centre. The X-Men were in fine form as they played their games before a very supportive crowd. The games were very close, with the X-Men giving a fine performance. Their loss was far overshadowed by their skill, as they played first on Thursday Waterloo, and then on Saturday Alberta. Considered underdogs going into the final, the X-Men showed the true story in the excellent games they played, giving the so-called top teams a run for their money. The fans rose to the occasion as well, showing clearly the existing spirit at St. FXU. Congratulations to the X-Men on their fine effort on the weekend, and that's it for sports.
And that's it for this edition of CSFX News. I'm Joanne Benoit.
And I'm Stephen Halliday. Good night.
Good night.
The information contained in the preceding newscast is for educational purposes only.